Good morning. It's March 17th, and today I'm going to briefly discuss the Magna Carta because there are moments in history when people grow tired of living at the mercy of power. Not tired in an ordinary sense, tired in a deep sense where something inside says, this cannot continue. That moment came in 1215 at a meadow called Runnymede, where King John was forced to accept the charter that would become one of the most important documents in the history of liberty, the Magna Carta. The Magna Carta planted a truth that still matters today. A leader is not above the law. Power must answer to something greater than itself. That was the breakthrough. Before the Magna Carta, the king's will often functioned as the law. Taxes could be imposed without meaningful consent. Punishments could be arbitrary. Property could be seized. Justice could bend towards the ruler's interest. Life under unchecked power is unstable because no one knows where the boundary is. When rules do not bind leadership, the public lives in uncertainty. That is the real danger. Not only oppression, but confusion. Not only injustice, but the steady erosion of trust. We know that feeling. We're not living under a king. We're not going back to crowns and divine right, but we do understand what it means when leadership begins to act as though the rules are for other people. We understand what it means when oversight weakens, when legislators fail to do their duty, when courts are attacked for enforcing limits, and when wealth and influence begin to outweigh the voice of the ordinary citizen. This is our modern warning. The Magna Carta matters because it reminds us that freedom does not survive on good intentions alone. Freedom survives when power is restrained. Freedom survives when leaders are bound by law. Freedom survives when people refuse to surrender their agency for the promise of comfort, speed, or control. One of the most famous parts of the Magna Carta declared that no free man could be imprisoned or stripped of rights by lawful judgment or by law of the land. In plain language, that means due process matters, fair procedures matter, evidence matters, the right to answer an accusation matters. The law must be more than a weapon in the hand of the powerful. The principle still stands at the center of any free society. When leadership is not held to the law, corruption spreads. When accountability fades, abuse grows. When people begin to believe that the rules only apply to some of us, the whole structure starts to crack. That is how republics weaken, not always with one dramatic collapse, but with 1,000 excuses. One exception here, one shortcut there, one rationalization after another, until the guardrails are gone. And once the guardrails are gone, power does what power always does. It expands. This is why the legislative branch matters. This is why oversight matters. This is why the constitutions matter. They're not decorations. They're not old pieces of paper to quote from when convenient. They are our restraint. They are the fence built around power so that liberty has room to live. Here in Wyoming, we understand the value of a boundary. A fence does not exist because we hate freedom. A fence exists because without the boundary, the strong push through, the weak get trampled, and the whole order breaks down. Government works the same way. Limits do not weaken a nation. Limits protect it. That is what the Magna Carta taught us 8 centuries ago. It teaches that a people have the right to demand lawful government. It teaches that consent matters. It teaches that leaders serve under the law, not above it. It teaches that liberty is never self-sustaining. Every generation must defend it. That defense now belongs to you and me. We cannot sit back and assume that someone else will hold the line. We cannot let billionaire media empires, party machines, or political celebrities decide what we believe and how far power may go. We still have the right to choose. We have the right to think. We still have the right to vote, speak, organize, question, and insist that leadership remain accountable to the people and to the Constitution. This is our agency. The reset we need will not come from one speech, one election, or one headline. It will come from conversation by conversation, town by town, citizen by citizen. It will come when ordinary people decide that our government is not a spectator sport. It will come when we stop handing our future to the moneyed few and start reclaiming responsibility for the republic we share. The Magna Carta was not perfect, but it was a line in the sand, a declaration that power must stop where law begins. We need that reminder now. If you felt the rules fall hardest on ordinary people while the powerful keep funding exits, then it's time to rise. Ask the hard questions, demand accountability, defend due process, support leaders who respect limits even when those limits slow them down. Because agency means the ability to decide our future for ourselves. We still hold that power, but only if we use it. Our children and grandchildren's legacy is now in our hands. Join the movement at ScoGuard2026.org. Check out our volunteer portal at go.grassrootsmbt.org. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for listening.